everybody, it's Christine, aka Puppet Girl, and today I am making a video for my mother on how to use an iPhone. My mom got an iPhone, yay! So now she wanted a YouTube video to know how to use it, and I figured I would create one. So this is how to use an iPhone. Mom. You want to turn it on, you tap that button on the top, mine's on the side, and then you swipe over to get going. I have to put my password in. All right. You don't need to make it super complicated and have a password and everything. If you can just swipe over and get in, that's good enough. Now, on your iPhone, you've got lots of little apps, little things on there. Not as many as mine. We're not going to have you have your phone look like this. You don't need to have all those apps. But if you want to get a new app, if you want to download something like Google Maps or something that you don't already have showing up on your screen, you go to the App Store, and the App Store is the little blue button right here. So you click that App Store, and then mine's loading. It takes a second. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so then it looks like this. So once you're here, you don't need to click any of these or choose any of these games unless you really want to find a new game. But what you want to do is at the bottom, there's a little search button. Let me turn my screen down a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. There's a search button. So you hit search, and then you can type in here whatever app it is you're looking for. So say we're going to look for Google Maps. So we type in Google Maps. Okay. And then you go, oh, there's Google Maps, and you would click, let's go back. Sorry. I already have it downloaded. So let's do something I don't have downloaded. Okay, Google Photos Unlimited I don't have. So I would hit get, and then I would hit install. And once I hit install, it's gonna give me this little thing like it's loading. And once that's done, it'll give me the open button. I'm gonna stop it because I don't actually want Google Photos. But then you would hit open, and when you hit open, then you can use it right away. Or if when you click to get something, it says enter your password, that's when you enter your Apple ID. So whatever you use to create and set up your iPad, you want to use that same Google ID for your iPhone, so that way everything is shared between both devices. Now, if you've not set up one before, like if someone else is watching this and you're like, well, I don't have one of those, you just set it up. It's free. Just set it up, put an email address in, and there you go. All right, so that's how you download an app. Some days you might see a little red like number on your app store. So if you go to your app store here and you see, oh, I have 97 there. You click that little button, and then you go to updates at the bottom. And then you can tell it to update whichever app you want it to update, or you can update all. I'm not going to do that right now because it might cause me to have problems slowing things down right now, but it's update all because I have 97 apps that need updates right now. That's because I have a lot of apps, but you don't need that many apps. You probably have like 10 maybe. All right, so that's how you get apps. Settings. Let's go to settings. This is your settings. This is how you're going to change and update everything on your phone that you need to change and update. So if you want to connect to Wi-Fi, like you guys got that hotspot, so to connect to your Wi-Fi, you'd hit Wi-Fi, and then you turn it on, and then you'd find your whichever Wi-Fi, your like hotspot or whatever you want to connect to, and you click that, and then you put in the password. So if I were doing mine, I would click my internet, and then I would have to enter my password here, but I'm not going to do that right now because I don't need to be connected to the Wi-Fi. But it's good to connect your phone to the Wi-Fi if you're just going to be like out and about at, say, a coffee shop or someplace that has internet, or like McDonald's. You can connect to the Wi-Fi there, and then you don't have to use your data plan. You have unlimited data, so it doesn't matter, but if you aren't getting very good internet service from, like if you're at McDonald's and Knox and they have bad service for Verizon, you can connect to their Wi-Fi from your phone, and you can still use your phone like a computer, and you can still call out on it. All right, so what else is here? You've got, this is just stuff. This is your personal hotspot. This is what I told you about. You can create a personal hotspot, so you can use your iPad on your Wi-Fi from your phone. It sets it up like a Wi-Fi hotspot, but you don't want to do that all the time because it's not good for your phone. What else? If you want to be on do not disturb mode, like at night, if you don't want anybody to call you or you don't want anything to go through and notify you and make noise on your phone, you can do one of two things. You can turn on this do not disturb. Where did it go? There it is. Do not disturb. You can do that. And you can set it for a certain amount of time, which is what I do. And I have it set up so just you and Dad can call me. So if there's an emergency, I still get calls. But if it's like a telemarketer, it won't wake me up. And then the other thing you could do is you could just turn your ringer off. And that's on the side here next to your volume controls. There's your up and down volume. This little thing here is the silence. So when I click it on, see it puts that means the ringer's off. And then it shouldn't ring. I'm going to put it back on ring. And you can tell it you have a ringer there, and you can turn the volume up on the ringer on the side buttons right here. Okay. If you want to change your wallpaper, you click wallpaper. You can pick pictures there. If you want to, try to see if you want to see how your battery is doing, or if you want to make it so you know how when you were like, oh, I don't see the percentage on my battery at the top. That's right here. You want to make sure that the little green button is on. If you turn this off, then you won't see the battery percentage anymore. But I know you want to know what your battery percentage is. So if it gets reset somehow, you just go into battery and you click that and make it green, and you can see how much battery is left on your phone. And then you're going to have all this other information here. This is if you get notified, like a little pop-up box comes up and says you need to turn on your location services. That's going to be here in settings too. You probably won't need it, but it might happen on certain apps that you're trying to use, like Google Maps might need you to say yes to the location so they can figure out where you are. So that way, when you're driving and you're trying to get directions, it needs to know your location so that it can find you and then give you like location from where you're at to where you're going. So you have to turn location services on for your map sometimes. Okay. To get out of here, I do what I always do. I double click this home button and I swipe up. It closes that window. You don't want to have a bunch of windows open because then it gets like cluttered. So you just want to try to close everything. Also, it drains your battery. So always close everything when you're done with it. So if you go to the internet, for example, and you're like, all right, I'm done with the internet, then you just swipe up and it gets rid of it. So you double click the home button and then swipe up. Double click the home button, swipe up, and that closes everything. If you have like, say I want to open a bunch of stuff. I'm going to open a bunch of different apps right now to show you how I can close certain things and not close other things. I didn't know I had Pinterest. Okay, so I've opened a bunch of apps on my phone. So now I can double click and see I have all of these things open. I don't need all that open. So maybe I want to close Twitter and my camera and my Facebook, but I want to leave this open. Then I just click it. So I can swipe over and get rid of all the things that I don't want and leave the things open that I do want. And if I want to close that, I double click it again, and I swipe up. So there's that. If you want, anytime that you're on something, so say that I open my text messages. I open my text messages and I want to leave it open, but I want to go back home. I just hit that home button once. If I want to close them, I double click it and I do that. Okay, speaking of text messages, let's go to the text messages. I want to click on, all right. I'm making sure there's nothing here no one should be able to see. Okay, they're text messages from you, but none of it seems too personal. So there we go. Now say that I want to delete one message. I just want to delete "We are home." So I hold down on that message. Okay, so I hold down on that message and it highlights it, and then I hit more. And then I can delete it. I just choose which ones I want to delete, and then I hit the trash can and delete the message. But if I want to delete the entire thing, then I can just swipe over. So maybe I want to delete this message. Wait, I'm backwards. Sorry. I'm doing everything backwards in the camera. So I would swipe this way. Maybe. There. Sorry. I was having a hard time doing it backwards. So I hold down on it and I swipe over and I can hit delete. And if I change my mind, I just swipe back. So I can hit that delete button. Deletes the whole chain of messages from that person. Or I can hit edit at the top. And when I hit edit, I can click the ones I want to delete, and then I hit delete. But I'm not going to delete any of my text messages right now. Then to close it, I double click it, and I swipe it closed. Cool. What else do you need to know in here? So text messages. You're going to want to set your Facebook up, I'm sure. So my Facebook, I have in a folder. Oh, and if you want to make a folder, like if you say, oh, I want everything on that first page, but it's too cluttered or you have too many little boxes, what you do is, let's say for Lose It, I'll do this one. So I'm going to hold down on my little app button, and now they're all like highlighted with the little X's. Now I can drag this into another one, and it puts them together in a folder. And then I can rename the folder by clicking on it and changing the folder. If I don't want it anymore, I just hang on to it, I drag it out, and I just put it back on the screen. And then to get rid of those little X's, I hit the home button once. You don't want to hit any of those little X's and close them out unless you're trying to delete the app. So if there's an app I want to delete, which actually, let me see, I'm sure there's apps in here I can delete. All right, so I'm going to delete add captions. So I hold down on this thing, I click on the button there, I hold down on it, and there's a little X, and then I hit that little X, and it says, do you want to delete that? And I say, delete, and then it's gone. And then I hit that one time, and they all go back to normal. And if I want to get over it, obviously just swipe that way. You can just touch the screen. Okay. Now, if you want to put your phone in airplane mode, or you want to silence it, put the Wi-Fi on, anything like that, that's like a real quick basic kind of thing, you hold down here. I actually touch down on the part that's not the screen. I hold down here and I swipe up, and then I can just turn on my Bluetooth or turn off my Bluetooth. That's off. I can put on the do not disturb mode. This is my Wi-Fi. I can turn my Wi-Fi on and turn my Wi-Fi off. And then this is airplane mode. So then airplane mode is on. You click the little airplane. If I want to make my screen brighter, I just drag that over. I can make it dimmer. I want to make it where you guys can see it. And then down here is my camera to turn my camera on. If my flashlight, I want my flashlight on. Whee! That's my flashlight. You can turn that off. And then the calculator's down here. And what's that? I don't even know what that is. Oh, the timer. That's like my alarm. So if I want to turn an alarm on, I can set alarms. So there's an alarm right here, and then I can set them here. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Let's get out of there. Let's finish one thing at a time. So those are basically quick. These are quick buttons. There's other things like airdrop and stuff. You don't really need that. If anybody's trying to airdrop something to you, they can explain how it works. But basically that's, this is like, if I have pictures on my phone and I want to give them to you, but I don't want to email them to you, and we're right in the same room together, I can do what's called an airdrop. I can take pictures and things from my phone and send them to your phone just through the fact that they're both iPhones. But don't worry about all that. It's too much. It's too confusing. Oh, this thing I use a lot though, the night thing. So I hit that to make my screen change colors so it's easier on my eyes at night. So if it's on, it makes it kind of orangey, and if it's off, it makes it brighter. I'm actually going to leave it on because it seems easier to see on here. So we'll leave it like that. There, it looks a lot better. Okay, now we'll go back and do the alarm. So you have the calendar and the clock and the phone. You should have all of those. You click that clock, and this, you hit the little, there's a thing called world clock. You can choose world clock. You can choose alarm at the bottom there. So alarm, to set an alarm, you hit the little plus sign, and then you set whatever time you want, and you can tell it to repeat. So I have one that repeats every day at noon. I don't have it on right now though. And then you can label it. You can leave it alarm, or if you know, like you have an alarm for, like for me, I have auditions. So I'll put audition for whatever it is that I need to do. I'll put that in there so I remember why I set the alarm in case I might forget. And then you can pick the sound. The sound, you just choose it. So you can click here and go, oh, I want to play that sound. I'm going to do Carry On My Wayward Son and go back. So at 11 p.m., I have a non-repeating alarm. It's going to do that. And then I can snooze. I can either make it where I can snooze or I can't snooze. Stop, 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 stop. Make it stop. Sorry. I just don't want to get in trouble for having a song play because on YouTube you can't play music. So there's that. All right, what else? So that's the alarm. And then you just hit set. Then if you have them set already and they go off, you turn it off for the day, you can just turn it back on for tomorrow by clicking the button here. So tomorrow at 11:45, my alarm will go off again. Oh, what else is in here? Then you've got bedtime, which I don't use. And then stopwatch, which I do use sometimes. There's a stopwatch. You can turn on a stopwatch. You can just like go start and then stop. It's a stopwatch. And then a timer. If you want to, so I use this for laundry all the time. So my laundry is downstairs and I go and put 45 minutes for the dryer. Then I'll come in, I'll set an alarm and I just scroll down to 45 minutes and I hit start. And then it counts down and it sets an alarm. It sends an alarm off for me. So if I want to cancel it, I hit cancel. And then to get out of here, I double click and swipe. So what else? Your camera. You click camera. And then, hey, it's me. Now, I use this little button here, so takes the picture. But you can also, I think, use one of the buttons on the side. I think it's this one. Oops, I can't do it at that angle. There. So it's your on button. It'll be on your top. Mine's on the side. You can turn your camera around here. So that's going to see me recording everything. That's like your selfie mode. So you're like, click selfie mode. What else on here? Oh, you can swipe over and you can do a whole bunch of different things. This is the video. Usually if you record a video, you want to turn it this way, because if you turn it this way, when you put it up on YouTube or send it to anybody, it's going to have those big black things on either side. So if you're creating a video for like YouTube or something, you want to do it this way so that it's profile. So that's landscape, not profile. But if you're doing something like an app that requires you to have it up and down, like Musical.ly or Live Me or any of those things where you have to have it this way, then of course leave it this way. But this is the best way to shoot video. It makes it look like your widescreen TV. And then you just hit the button to turn it on and record it, and then hit the button again to stop it. What else? There's photos. You can make a square photo, which is like for Instagram. Panoramic, we did that one. So for panoramic photos, you have to follow that arrow. I can't even do it backwards, but you follow the little arrow, you try to keep it in the line, and then it turns it into a panoramic photo. You stop it, and then you can see it. It's gonna look funky because I can't do it backwards like that. But yeah, so that's like crazy panoramic photo. Then if you want to delete this photo, you're like, ooh, I don't like that photo. You hit the little trash can, and then delete photo. So trash can, delete photo. And then if you delete a photo and you're like, oh no, I didn't want to delete that photo, there is a way to save it, but try not to do that. And then if you want to see all your photos, you hit all photos, and then you can or you can scroll down through here. It'll show all your photos and videos and everything, but you can play around with that. The main thing you're going to want to know how to do is just take a regular photo and probably take a selfie photo, which is to turn that camera around. And that's pretty much it. And then just see those. Oh, how do I close it? I double click it and I go like that. If you want to see those photos, there's an area on here for pictures. Where are my pictures? Mine are gone. I've hid them. But you'll see it on yours. I know you have it because I saw it. It'll say photos or pictures, and you just click that and it'll have all your pictures there. Or you can go to your camera. You click your camera, and then you just click the little button at the bottom that has the pictures in it, and you can do it that way. And then you can go see all photos, and it puts the big file there of all the photos. And it divides them up by like I think date and time, so you can see them by day or whatever. Photos. If you want to share a photo, oops, let me do that. So you click your photos, you click your little picture button to get to the photo that you want. I'll use this photo. So I have this photo here that I created. This is not one I took. I created this. So I want to share this with you. So I go to I look at the picture. Basically, let me choose the one I just took. So I choose this one. Now I can edit it here. This allows me to crop it. I can just do that. I can turn it I can move it. I can do all sorts of things to it. I can make it different colors. I can turn it black and white. I can go into other apps and do it, but I'm not going to do all that. So done. So let's say I really like the photo like it is. Now I want to send it. I can do this to just send it to you. So if you take a picture of like the cats and you say, I want to send it to Christine. Well, you can just take the picture and you click that little thing that I just showed you. Let me go back and show you one more time. It's this little thing on the edge here of the photo area. So you click that. And then you can send it to me by mail or by text message, or you can tweet it out if you have Twitter. You can save it. You can do all sorts of things to it. And you can also print it directly to your printer. You can set your printer up right to your phone too. But let's say you want to email it to me. Then you click mail. Sorry, I wasn't going to edit this at all, but I needed to edit that out because there were a bunch of phone numbers showing. All right, so I clicked mom and I put mom cell in here, and then I just send it by hitting the little green button to send it. And then I can send it. I'm not going to send it to you now. So to get out of there, I double click and I swipe. All right, what else do you need to know on here? We've gone over settings. We've gone over the clock. We've gone over the camera. Oh, the calendar. So to click the calendar, if you want to put on, say that you guys have a doctor's appointment or something you want to put on your calendar, you go to your calendar and you can click the date. So in June 1st, I have a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment right here, and I put it in. So in order to add an appointment, say I want to add one today. Today is the 25th. I go to May, I click on 25th, and then I hit the plus sign, and then I can type in what's going on. So blah, 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 I typed in something, the location, you can pick the location, and you can put the time and everything, and then it can be all day. If it's an all day event, like you're gonna go to the Indy 500 for the weekend, you can put it all day, and you can put it over the course of 3 days if you want as one item. And then you can set the time if you want the time. And if you want to set an alarm, and this is important, say it's a doctor's appointment and you want to remind yourself, you hit alert, you click that, and you can do it for like an hour before or a day before. So if I know that I have something like a doctor's appointment, I want to remind myself the day before, and then I'll hit add and it'll add it. And then I want to also click back there again, hit edit, and then I'll add a second alert. So the second alert, and I'll add that for usually an hour before I have to leave. So if you know that you've got a doctor's appointment at noon, but you have to leave by 11:30 to get there on time, I'll set it for 10:30 to remind myself that I have to get ready to leave. But that's just me. And then if you say done, you've saved it, you say done. Now, say that I go, oh, I'm here at the calendar. Actually, we'll go back. We see the calendar day. I click the day, and I go, oh yeah, there's that. I click it, and I go, oh, you know what? They canceled that appointment. So I just hit delete event, and it's gone. So I use my calendar a lot to keep track of things because I have a lot of stuff that I need to keep track of, and it goes like way in advance. So you can put birthdays on here too. You can do all of your birthdays and anniversaries on your calendar, and you can have a reminder sent to you like 2 days before, so that way you make sure that you sent out your card in time or whatever. I mean, on 2 days might not be enough time, but you know, like, so I'll show you how to do that. So what is today? Today is May 25th. So let's say we'll go the 26th because I don't have anything there. And I'm going to add, so I hit the little plus sign. Whoops, hit the little plus sign. And then I'm going to say Joe's birthday. That's not what it says, but we'll just pretend that I typed Joe's birthday. And then it is all day. So I click the all day button. And then it's going to be repeating. So I hit repeat right here. And I put every year. I just click every year. Every year to remind me it's Joe's birthday. And then I set alert. I click alert and I go, oh, I can do 1 week before. 1 week before. And then it reminds me 1 week before an alarm will go off and it will tell me Joe's birthday is in 1 week. And so I can get my birthday card and send it out. I cancel that because I don't need to keep it. Whoops. How do I close the calendar? Double click, swipe. So I think that's a pretty good start. Oh, the other thing that I use a lot is music. But your music you're going to want to set up once you double click, swipe, once you download music to your phone, if there's music that you want downloaded to your phone. But you may not use it for anything. I use it because I like to have creative alarms. So I bought, I spent like $2 and I bought the Electric Light Parade soundtrack from Disney. So that way that can be my alarm. But you don't have to buy any music or anything. What else? Oh, to change your alarm sound. I know you wanted to do that. That's going to be in your settings. Go to settings. Settings. And then under, was it notifications? Nope. Under sounds. There it is. Okay, so under sounds, click sounds. And this is where you can change your ringer. You can change your ringtone and everything here. You just click ringtone, text tone, and you can pick whichever ringer you want and then save it. And then you can just get out of there by double clicking and swiping up. I think that's it. Oh, and you're going to want to add your contacts, although all of your contacts got switched over when you went to the store. But if you want to add okay, sorry. I keep accidentally showing phone numbers, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm doing now is I went and I hit contacts, and then I'm going to hit this button there to add a contact. Okay, now I can show you. I just don't want to show a bunch of phone numbers on my phone. Sorry. So there's a little couple edits here. But, all right, so you add a contact, you do that. You hit contacts and then the little plus sign, and then you just type in the information, and then you hit done, and it'll save. And that's really easy. And then you can add a photo. You click add photo, and you can choose a photo from your photo things, or you can take a photo of the person right there. But you'll figure all that out if you're trying to add a contact. The easiest way to do it is when someone calls you, you just say text me, and then you go into the text, and then you just save it as a contact. And you'll see how to do that. You'll figure it out. It's one of those things that I can't really show you without giving away a phone number. So, yes, so there's that. I think that's everything. You can download other apps, like I said, but you are going to have to put your information in. The main thing that I say to remember is make sure that if it's not ringing and you can't figure out why it's not ringing, that this little button on the side isn't showing red or isn't flipped. You want to make sure that it doesn't look like that. It looks like that. And then your volume are these two buttons. Your off and on is up here. And then you double click and swipe. That's the main thing to close things. And then in order to get home, anytime you're stuck and you need to get home, you just hit that button one time. And that's it. So, yeah. Oh, to check your voicemail and your messages. You click messages to check your messages, and to click your voicemail, you go to phone. You go to phone right there, and then you just click voicemail at the bottom. So there's a little button that says voicemail at the bottom there, and you click it. I can't really show it to you without people seeing it. And then mine will show numbers. So again, I don't want to show you the numbers, but it'll say voicemail, and you just click the little button and you can hear the voicemail. So that's that. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, you can just text me or call me. If if you are not my mom and you're watching this, you can type your questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share this channel. If you're not my mom and you have a profile, Mom, I know you don't have YouTube, so you can just watch it. It's cool. All right. And thanks so much for watching. I hope that was helpful.